Hello, my name is Keith Bailey, coming at you with picks and predictions for NFL Week 13. Two shout-outs of the week are to two NFL YouTube prognosticators who I can finally relate to on terms of being shafted by NFL officials. My shout-outs go to Stephen Coleman, Half Moon's Picks, and Matt Combs, the NFL fanatic. Terrible. I don't know if anyone saw that blatantly missed false start penalty, but I mean, that was a bullshit hold. That was terrible on the defense. Tennessee had that game in the bag, but you know what? We're closer to the number one pick, so I'm not going to really complain about it too much because we're not going anywhere anyways. So without further ado, here are my picks. First game is the Packers at the Lions. I am so tempted to pick Detroit here, but I can't. I don't see Aaron Rodgers getting swept by the Lions. I think Green Bay gets the win here. I think Lions keep it close. I would say 30-24. Green Bay gets revenge over Detroit. Next up, we got the Jets at the Giants. Can't really give a home field advantage in this kind of game. You just kind of go straight up because both of these teams theoretically play in the same venue. I'm going to go with the Jets here because I think the Jets defense can contain the Giants, and I think that the Jets will get the win here by a score of 24-16 over the Giants. Take the under because I think this game's going to be a little low scoring than people think. Next up, we get the Cardinals at the Rams. I'm putting the Cardinals on upset alert for this game. I'm still going to pick the Cardinals to win. But the Rams, as bad as St. Louis can be, they always seem to show up against divisional rivals. I think Arizona gets revenge for the Rams beating them earlier this year, but I think the Cardinals take this game 20-19 over St. Louis. I think the Rams decide to show up. Falcons at Buccaneers. I'm picking the Buccaneers. Atlanta's fading fast, and Tampa Bay is coming off a loss against the Colts. I think Tampa ends up sweeping the season series against the Falcons by a score of 23-14 over Atlanta. Atlanta's just not the team they used to be, and yeah, I mean, it's bad. Next up, good game, Seahawks at Vikings. This game could go either way, but I'm going to take Minnesota in this game in what I think is going to be not a shootout, but not completely low scoring. It could go either way depending on how which defense decides to show up for Seattle. But I think 26-24 will be the score of this game. The Vikings pull it out because they have a very solid running game. And Seattle drops to 6-6, all but giving Arizona the division title, almost, or very close to it. Next up, we get the Texans at the Bills. I could be wrong. I don't understand why people are picking the Buffalo Bills. Rex Ryan doesn't seem to fit that team, and they were completely owned by the Kansas City Chiefs in the second half of that game. And Houston's been on a roll. They've allowed 2 touchdowns in the last 18 quarters since that halftime game against Miami when they were down 42-0. They've allowed 2 touchdowns. Just let that sink in for a little bit. That's crazy. And the Bills don't exactly have the most explosive offense. They may have the talent to be able to be explosive, but they aren't. I think the Texans take this game in a low-scoring bout, 19-16 over Buffalo. Ravens at Dolphins. Going with Miami. The Ravens, both of these teams are bad, but the Ravens are still as injured as you could be. I think Miami takes this game 23-13 over Baltimore. Bengals at Browns. I think Cleveland keeps it moderately close this time. Cincinnati should win this game. But I think the Bengals win by a score of 23 seems to be a number. 23-15 over Cleveland. Next up, we got the Jaguars at Titans. I'm doing it. I'm picking Tennessee. Part of the reason I'm picking them feels like that we completely got shafted last week against the Raiders. But anytime the Tennessee Titans and the Jacksonville Jaguars get to play, every single time they play, it's always a season split. They always split the series. Jacksonville won the first game, and as I said in my picks video a couple weeks ago, I picked the Jaguars. I said I was going to pick the Titans this week. I'm sticking by that. And if Tennessee ended up beating the Jaguars, I would have picked the Jaguars this week. But the Titans didn't win a couple weeks ago. They lost. Picking the Tennessee Titans, honestly, I think Tennessee wins 27-14. I think they take their frustrations out on the Jaguars here. Because as good as Jacksonville is, Tennessee is a lot healthier than they were than that game they played in Jacksonville a couple weeks ago. Kendall Wright being a big part of that. Next game, 49ers at Bears. I'm going with Chicago. They've had extra time to prepare. The 49ers played their hearts out against Arizona. Some costly, questionable penalties may have cost them that game, but Chicago was a very good ball club, and I think the Bears exposed the 49ers, and they win 30-13. Next, Broncos at Chargers. This game might be a trap because Denver's coming off a big win. But I'm sticking with Denver in a close game. I think it's going to be low scoring. Call me crazy. I think it's going to be 20-17. Denver wins on a game-winning field goal. Chiefs at Raiders. I don't know why people are picking Oakland to win this game. I mean, I know it's a divisional matchup, but with the way the Kansas City Chiefs have been playing recently, I have to go with the Chiefs. Kansas City's been rolling, and I think that continues, and I think the Chiefs take this game 31-21 over Oakland. Panthers at Saints. I almost pulled the trigger because no one's paying attention to the Saints right now because that's how bad New Orleans has been playing. And Carolina, I mean, it's like again the Tennessee game. This game has trap game written all over it, but I've learned that I can't bet against Carolina even if there is a potential for a trap game. As I learned that lesson against with Panthers Titans, I gotta go with Carolina. I have to go with them 30-23. Saints keep it a little closer than people think. This game's in New Orleans, but I'm saying it right now. Watch out for the Saints. I will not be surprised if the Saints win this game. Next up, Eagles at Patriots. Give me a break. Regardless of who's injured for New England, they're going to stomp all over the Eagles. 41-17, Patriots win. Colts at Steelers, I'm going with Pittsburgh. This is subject to change depending on Ben Roethlisberger's status. Matt Hasselbeck's been playing very well, but I have to go with the Steelers here. 24-21 over Indianapolis. And lastly, Cowboys at Redskins. I was wrong about Washington. I said they would lose last week. I was wrong. I think the Redskins take this game over Dallas, 30-10. Dallas losing Tony Romo is going to hurt. And the Redskins play very well at home. Those are my picks. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to my channel. I will see you guys all next time.